Hi there, welcome to As Real As I Can Be. My name is Kanyisa, and this week I am answering this question: can straight women be turned? Can straight women be turned from being straight to being lesbians? Now, this video is for the lesbian who is really attracted to straight girls. It is also for the straight woman, the woman who identifies as being straight, but sometimes you're sort of like, ooh, I think I would like to hang out with a woman once or twice or 3 times or maybe 10 times in my life. This video is for you. But before I get into it, I would love it if you would just subscribe to my channels, hit that subscribe button real quick. Also, if you could follow me on Instagram, I'm right there putting out content almost every day. It's tiring, but it's almost every day. So find me on Instagram, Kanyisa Mnyaka. All the links are on here. So here's the question, right? Can a straight woman be turned? I am going to answer this question for you in a form of a story and the experience that I have had with straight women. Are you ready? Story time. My dreads are a bit wet. Okay, story time. So when I first came out in South Korea, I was, if you listen to any of my stuff that I say and read about, I was like very closeted, very Christian, very sexually repressed teenager. And when I came out in South Korea, I was just like all in my lesbianism, right? And one of the things that clicked for me in my brain was, oh, I want to date straight women. I don't know why, but I found that when I was pursuing a straight woman, right, and I got her to say yes to me, I got her to hold my hand, kiss me, make out, whatever it was that we did, I felt so empowered. I felt like I was the shit. I felt special. I felt sensual. I felt sexy. I felt worthy. I felt affirmed, right? I felt like, ooh, I am Kanye and I am so charming. I can get a straight girl, forget you straight for a night, fall deeply in love with me, confuse the fuck out of her about her own sexuality. That experience for me personally gave me such a sense of being empowered in my sexuality. And I can't really tell you why it made me feel like that. It just did. And for a while there, I thought, oh, I could turn straight women. And, I did. This is not like, oh, look at me turning straight women. No, not at all. But I got to be with women who identified as straight, right? And I also got rejected. Guys, I hate being rejected so much, but I got rejected. A few girls are like, no, I'm straight. And I was like, well, how would you know? Have you tried it? Well, that's what people say to gay people, right? How do you know you're gay? Have you tried being straight? So I was like, I'm going to take it and turn it and say, how do you know you're straight? Have you tried being a lesbian? And I would say this to some girls and they would say, no, but I just know I like dick. And then I would say, dildos. I don't know what I was going through, but I was going through that and, and the rejection of it all. And sometimes, that joyous, which was actually most of the time, that joyous, like getting a straight woman situation. But it is not sustainable. So this is what I not struggled with. This is what I have experienced. If you get a straight girl to turn for you, I feel that it is such a momentary thing. It's not permanent. That person is going to be with you, enjoy you, and then their natural instinct will come in, who they are as women will come in, and that is them being straight. That has been my experience. And when I say that, I deal with people saying that I am biphobic, which is like not accepting of bisexual people, because I got to a point where now that I'm older, I'm like, I don't want a straight chick, I don't want a bisexual chick, I just want a lesbian. Give me lesbians. Which is also something that I had to grow out of, because sexuality is not this stamped thing, even for myself. So what I wanted to share with you in answering this question, right, after I tell you my story about straight girls and all that stuff, is sexuality it's a spectrum, right? It's all, think of a scale. You have 0 to 10. 0 being very heterosexual, and then 10 being very homosexual, and then you have a scale, right? And some people are able to move fluidly within that spectrum. And I do want to say that society has made it so acceptable for women to move into that spectrum. The psychologist did a study, and she found that 80% of women identify as being sexually fluid, not bisexual per se, but to say that they are able to move within the spectrum of sexuality, and that their sexuality is not so rigid. And I don't want to get into so much about why it's not the same for men, but I do feel that for women it is so acceptable for so many reasons, and one of them being that, I hate to say it, that men are turned on by lesbian sex. They are. And so we have to add on to what that spectrum is like and why it's so acceptable for women to move like that within our society. No one has ever said to a girl who has said, I've been with women, you. But it happens to guys, right? I'm losing my train of thought. Kanye, come back. I'm back. So within that spectrum, I do feel that women are not necessarily turned by lesbians, but they are already floating within the spectrum of sexuality. Now, there are women out there who are curious about being with other women, who are curious, but for reasons such as religion, family expectation, society, culture, all these things that have sort of played a role in how we live, label, and identify, they don't try it. I say try it. No. But what I'm trying to say is, this is how I answer that question. Can straight women be turned? I want to say no. I'm going to say no. And also my experience, if you are a straight woman there and you're like, girl, you don't even know what you're talking about, I got turned, I'm like, yeah, you. Or if you're a lesbian out there and you're like, I've been with my wife or my partner for so long, and when we met she was straight, then yeah, you guys. But for me personally, I feel like straight women cannot be turned. Straight women can be seduced, they can be lured, they can be curious, but I think at the very core of, because if I met a guy, right, this just hit me now, if I met a guy and this guy's challenge was to make me straight, even if I make out with him once or twice or 3 times, I will always be gay, because that is who I am. Now, taking that and turning it around, I do feel like it's the same thing with the straight women. I don't expect straight women, now that I'm older and now that I've been gay for a while, I don't expect straight women to change who they are for me. I do allow space when I was single, and if I was single, I have lesbian friends who are like, I give straight women the experience, but I don't attach to them emotionally, because I know that that's going to lead to pain because they are straight. So have that experience if you are looking for it as a straight woman, but be honest and say you're just looking for the experience. I'm not going to tell you who to fall in love with or who not to fall in love with. I'm just saying, put it out there, be honest. And you as a lesbian who just like has the straight chick in your mind, know that it is okay to pursue it, I think, but it's also okay to leave space for this person might not turn for me. I mean, I'm starting to, or have been challenging labels altogether. And I find myself, to be honest with you, I find myself stuck in the label of being a lesbian. And I think that is because I understand the pain of being with someone who's not, and hurting on all those things. And now I'm like, I just want a lesbian, and I'm like, my girlfriend identifies as that. I'm gonna let her have this conversation with you guys on her own terms, but I'm happy with where she is, and I'm happy with where we are in our relationship. But yeah, this is where I want to end this video and say, no, straight women cannot be turned. And subscribe to my channel. Remember to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye.